Researchers zeroing in on the crash site of that giant fireball that streaked across the sky last Thursday. They're on their way today to a zone just east of the Alberta-Saskatchewan border. Briar Stewart spoke with them moments ago. How's it going with them, Briar?
Well, Tiffany, researchers are on their way there, and they say this fireball is a fragment of an asteroid. They believed it weighed about 10 tons and was about the size of this desk before it broke up into pieces and fell over the prairies. This afternoon, I spoke with a researcher who's out there hunting for space rocks.
A 10-ton rock doesn't fall in Canada every day. Something like that only happens once every 5 years or so. So certainly a very big event.
More people saw this fireball than any other in Canada's history. With all the eyewitness accounts, researchers now say they have a better idea of exactly where these pieces of rock landed. They believe the fireball appeared over Lloydminster, then traveled southeast before exploding. They think fragments of the rock landed in this area in northwestern Saskatchewan. Researchers think there could be hundreds of rocks, some as large as footballs.
The eyewitnesses near the fireball could actually see, after the big explosions, they could see red fragments, dozens of red fragments continuing to fly through the sky. So each one of those would be an individual rock.
And those rocks are valuable. Collectors are willing to pay thousands of dollars for them, but they're priceless to researchers. In the end, the rocks belong to the owner of the land where they fell. So some farmers in northwest Saskatchewan could soon find themselves just a little bit richer. Now, researchers will be on site early tomorrow to continue their ground search. They're also going to be speaking to more eyewitnesses and looking for more surveillance video to see if they can really pinpoint where this meteorite landed.
Amazing. Okay, Briar, thank you. Well, meanwhile, scientists at the U of A have discovered a way to find meteorites more easily. Will it help them find Thursday's meteorite? Linda Calvert has the answer.
About 2 hours northwest of Edmonton off a remote logging road, if you know just where to look, you'll see this.
Locals in the area who did lots of snowmobiling, quadding, hunting in the area have known about the site for a number of years. They just thought it was a hole in the ground.
It is, in fact, an impact crater from a meteorite. Scientists at the University of Alberta think a 5-ton chunk of space rock hit here about 1,000 years ago.
It's easy to see impact craters on the moon or on Mars, but here on Earth, the view of craters like these is often obscured by vegetation.
And that's a problem because scientists think there are many more craters like this one they just can't find. So inspired by the fact that they had a previously unknown crater more or less in their backyard,
the chances of finding an impact crater are exceedingly slim.
A team from the University of Alberta decided on a bold experiment. They took a technology used in forestry called lidar, which allows you to see through vegetation. And suddenly, the Whitecourt crater went from this to this. Lead scientist and meteorite expert Chris Hurd says they'll use this to find other craters.
If we can find more of them of different ages, then we get a better idea of how often a rock of a certain size comes in the atmosphere. And that can be used for some predictions into the future about how frequently, something big enough to make a crater actually hits the Earth.
On Thursday night, a 10-ton fireball streaked over prairie skies. So will the discovery help locate this meteorite's final landing spot? The answer is probably not. Scientists think it broke up into hundreds of smaller pieces over a large area and didn't leave a crater. Linda Calvert, CBC News, Edmonton.